Defender of Europe, brilliant tactician, dedicated laborer, and hero to Rome. This is Giovanni Giustiniani. He was an Italian, specifically from the Republic of Genoa, who was the commander who best opposed the consumption of the East Roman Empire. If he couldn't stop the progress of their enemy, the Ottoman Empire would become a threat with the power of every European country combined. Giustiniani and many others agreed that they needed to stop this growth because if they couldn't do it, nothing but a world war would stop them. Giustiniani worked intensively to stop this bleak future, but after his death, the massive amount of tactical work he did was undone. Ottomans planned to attack the capital of the East Roman Empire, Constantinople, but luckily defending this city was relatively easy with Giustiniani's tactical thinking. There was already a tall wall cutting the city off from any land-based invaders, and the Roman Emperor, Constantine XI, ordered the placement of a chain over the mouth of the Golden Horn to maximize automatic defense. Still, they were outmatched nearly 10 to 1. Where should soldiers be placed? Giustiniani and the emperor thought that they should devote most men to the wall and its weakest points, while the remainder could be spread out across the shore to prevent any unwanted landings. But sooner or later, Giustiniani learned that the Ottomans had the capability to break through the wall in a matter of days. Giustiniani and the emperor resolved the issue by making repairs to the walls in between assaults and throwing arrows, stones, Greek fire, and other materials when the enemy is almost inside the city. Even when the Ottoman Turks rolled ships overland and into the Golden Horn, and made the soldiers be very outstretched, Giustiniani's presence and guidance helped the soldiers oppose their foes. Persistence is one of the greatest tools in the universe, and Giovanni Giustiniani used it until his death. As long as he didn't become fatally injured, he'd never leave the dangerous ticking time bomb known as Constantinople. Even though it was apparent that the city could be very easily overrun, he never left. Every day, not just Giustiniani, but everyone risked their life to protect the most important Christian city in all of Europe. Everyone in Constantinople knew that he would fight through rain, snow, thunder, tornado, and all time if he had to, whatever it would take to protect Europe. If Constantinople and the East Roman Empire fell, it would be catastrophic. The Balkans would be under Ottoman occupation for nearly 4.5 centuries. If Giustiniani failed, this would allow an uncountable amount of Christians from there to become enslaved to the Islamic Empire for 4.5 centuries. The Ottomans would control trade between Europe and Asia, which would only give them the power to consume more countries, which would allow them to enslave more innocents. If Giustiniani failed, the oppressive sultans would kill innumerably more people in their quest for world domination. Only Giustiniani and his allies would have the chance to stop this madness in its cradle. Otherwise, the world would have to wait until World War I, in which almost 40 million casualties occurred. All of this was at risk for the defender of Europe. Giovanni Giustiniani was always a welcome sight during the Ottoman siege of Constantinople, and it's pretty clear to see why. He wasn't sent there by his own country. He brought himself there, which meant something profound for the Romans. He did this out of the good of his heart, and going back to his persistence, he stayed there as long as he could. To everyone in the city, he is a caring hero who wants to stop the calamity that is coming. For as long as he was in the city, the soldiers kept the Ottomans out, but unfortunately, after the second breach in the Bleternay Wall, Giustiniani had to leave for medical attention, and Rome fell soon after. The Roman Empire might have fallen, but it didn't go without a fight. Giovanni Giustiniani was just one man who didn't want the empire to leave. Who knows what others did? Now, if looked at from a certain angle, Giustiniani's story is a sad one about uselessness. But that's not the true takeaway here. What should be noted is that with hard, long work, even if there is failure, that failure will tell a beautiful story that is worthy of retelling for all time.